Hi guys, I've got quite a bit of stuff to show you today. It's a mixture of terrain and weapons and all sorts of stuff, so let's have a see what I've done, shall we? Right then, so I wanted to start off by showing you guys some progress I've made on the vehicle weapons. So these things here. I've got the big rig out because this has got the same mounting points as the truck that I've been working on. And so I've just done some last details. I'll just bring the focus in so you can see. Get it right there. So this here is the spear gun. You can see 4 spears there. I've just made those spears sharper, taken some of the edges off, put some bolts around the place, added a bit of detail back there, and that's about it. Maybe put some dents in the side there. We've got the rocket launchers. You can see I've stuck on the rockets. Again, these are just primed. I need to tidy up even the prime. Put some bolts around the place like there and there. Taken some of the edges off this stuff to make it look a bit more rugged. It was looking a little bit too refined before. And of course this here, again, taking some of the edges off these parts here, put some dents in the place, put some bolts here and there, and that's done as well. So those are the 3 weapons, and of course I've got 2 of these basically exactly the same. But what we've got is we've got these little mounting points on the bottom, and I decided when I was building this guy that I was going to try and make it as universal as possible for the mounting of these guys. So on the big rig, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting points where this can go on, and of course I've now made it completely out of focus. There we go. So there's the old big shooter that I was working on. Those can come off, and we could put all sorts of configurations like 2 rocket launchers like that. We can have a harpoon gun. And of course, the same way, we can also do the same. Oh, this is quite heavy, this model. I forget just how heavy this is. There's a fair bit of resin in it. We got them, and they can fit on the front of that as well. So I've been doing work on those. These will be painted up fairly shortly, and they should look pretty awesome when they're on the different vehicles. What I've also done is I've decided that I've finished this big grabber. So let me bring the focus in on that. There we go. You can see big grabber there. I've also been asked to just go in a little bit of detail on how I do my mounting, the magnetization. So I always work with 1mm thick discs when I'm doing my magnetization. And what that allows is something pretty funky in that the styrene I work with is also 1mm thick. So what I can do with that is I can build up edges around a magnet, cap it off with another piece of styrene, and that basically just allows that, instead of having to rely on glue to keep the magnet in place, which never works in my experience, it's because they're very temperamental. In fact, I'm half expecting that one there, which I haven't done this with, to shoot out. As you can see there on that one there, I build a sort of small box, put the magnet in the middle, and then with a really thin piece of styrene make a cap on it. So I'm not relying on glue for the magnet itself. I'm just relying on the styrene to sort of hold the magnet in a little cage, and that allows it to magnetize onto the side of the vehicle. So that's how that one goes on there. It's really coming together with the gubbins as well, as you can see. Although I do prefer this one being on this side. I think that'll look a lot better once it's painted up, and the same of course could be said for the boarding plank as well. So that's that. Now on to the next thing. I've painted, or started painting this, and the reason I've started painting it is because I have done some work to the actual bit here. As you can see, it's now got a top on it, a nice back on it as well. It needs a little bit more paint, as you can see, but I've got this funky little twizzly bit on the end there, which I think looks quite cool. The idea that it's on the opposite end to the rotor like that. That's quite funky. Added some details here and there, and I think that's just about ready to be painted. The one thing that is a bit annoying is now I've sprayed it, it doesn't spin as well. So I'm a bit gutted about that. So that's that, and last but not least, you'll probably remember a while back I did some work on some tank traps. These are them, and basically the way that I'd done them, I tried to make them so that they were freestanding, but unfortunately I got the bottoms of them completely wrong in terms of lying flat on the table. So what I decided to do is started to get a piece of styrene, mount them on the styrene, and then any sort of badness around the bottom I've covered up with first filler, and then I stuck some crackle paste on. You've got this lovely sort of desert look going on. In fact, it's a little extreme maybe, but that'll be painted up. Obviously rusted metal for the tank traps themselves, and then of course desert for the bits that they're on. Hopefully trying to match a colour that I might have when I buy a mat. You never know. I've got 4 of these. That one's gone absolutely crazy on the old crackle. I think it looks pretty funky though. Let me know what you think of the level of crackle on these. Have I gone too far with the crackle paste, or does it look cool? You think it'll look quite nice when it's painted up? There's quite a lot of flakes coming off because I got crackle paste all over the bottom of these things, so it looks like I've got crazy dandruff. So that's it. Lots of things to show you today. Could have made a video on each one, but I was feeling like just get it all out there, since all of this basically isn't any finished state. We've just got lots and lots of stuff that's a work in progress. Right then, I think I've covered everything I wanted to, so thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Stay well, guys.